You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut. Hi all, on today's episode of the Real Estate Labs with Bayut.com, we will be discussing high net worth strategies within the UAE real estate market. Today, I'd like to introduce you to someone who's spent the last 9 years building one of the leading real estate investment groups here in the UAE. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the chairman, Husni Al Bayari from Bayari Investment Group. So Husni, thank you so much for coming in today. How's things been? How are you?
Great. First of all, it's a pleasure. And let me say that this is my first podcast, so
I feel privileged.
Privilege is mine.
We've been partners for many years now and working with each other, so it's absolutely a pleasure to have you in our office. We just want to sort of dive into today's topic and discuss what's happening within the real estate market, but a specific segment of the real estate market, the high net worth individual clients. Before we get in there, just for my understanding for people watching, how do we define what a high net worth individual is?
Well, a high net worth individual is a person that invests into multiple properties, and they've got a portfolio diversified across the major cities. Obviously, Dubai now has positioned itself as one of the global big cities where you actually people from all over the world are looking forward to investing in it. So these guys are usually investors that have a property somewhere in New York, somewhere in London, and they're looking at diversifying their portfolio. Usually their ticket prices are anywhere from $1 million and they go up to, the sky's the limit. But a high net worth individual for me is an educated person with refined taste that invests all over the globe in order to diversify their portfolio. They have that kind of approach to it. So this is mainly what I perceive a high net worth individual to be.
Yeah, and would you say there's any sort of key characteristics which defines high net worth individuals opposing to regular investors?
Yeah, well, the standards of real estate that they're looking for are always higher than not always higher. I mean, their standard, they know what they want.
Yeah.
So they know that what they want is because they're seeing properties in Spain, they're seeing properties in the UK, and they're always comparing properties with other major cities.
Yeah.
And when they come here, they develop this kind of refined taste. So they're always looking for the prime properties. They're always looking at little details. I don't like using the word luxury around.
Yeah.
Luxury is relative. My luxury is different than your luxury. But what they look for is attention to detail, and this is what made Dubai start to elevate their products over the last 5-6 years.
Even high net worth investors probably have less luxurious or more sort of affordable units within their portfolio somewhere as well.
100%,
yeah?
100%. But they do look at the details.
Yeah.
But when they approach a property, they're not just buying. A lot of people think that high net worth individuals are going to come in and throw their money into a trophy asset where their appreciation is going to be low and they're going to have a horrible return on investment, anywhere between 1 and 2, like any of the other cities. But the reason these high net worth individuals are coming to Dubai now is because they look at both. They segment it into two segments. The main segment is there a possibility for capital appreciation, because that's what they look for, and in order to hedge their risk and make sure that everything's fine, is this property going to give them a certain return on investments? And usually majority of the high net worth individuals don't look at their investments on the short-term basis. They look at it as at the medium to long-term basis. So like I said before, they come in, they have an understanding of what they're looking for, and when they come to a new developing city with the same infrastructure that we have and the stability that we have, they look at these 3 main points: return on investment, on the rental yield, and capital appreciation, and quality, and the appreciation, obviously.
So in your experience in real estate, if an ultra high net worth client was moving to the UAE and reached out to you, Husni, and says, look, I've got $25 million, $30 million to buy a home for myself, what sort of locations would you be recommending to him right now at this moment in time?
It depends, of course. Obviously, it's not just going to take the money and throw it around. Easy, anyone can do that, and there's plenty of people in the market. Take the 25 million, throw it here, put some there, it's fine.
Yeah.
But we usually approach these high net worth individuals with a certain level of educated questions to ask them, because sometimes that portfolio of $25 million, he wants a little bit for a high return on investment, a little bit on the capital appreciation, something where he wants to live and use for him and his family when he comes in. So you need to really dissect and dig deep with these questions. But look, I'll focus on this podcast on two things. You need to look at the high return on rental yields. A lot of people want those rental yields.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are making money and they want to put it in a city where they can get anywhere between. I mean, the numbers we get in Dubai in terms of rental yield don't exist anywhere. You're talking anywhere between 6 to 12%.
Yeah.
I've seen the 12%.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't get it now, but if you bought a property 2 years ago somewhere in Dubai Hills or somewhere in the downtown, you'll probably be getting anywhere between 10 to 12%.
Yeah.
The rentals have gone up and they will continue to go up. Then you've got the capital appreciation. And this is where really my experience in the market, I've been in the market long enough, I've seen all these new areas develop. So what I call them are the green fields. So you go into Dubai Islands, for example.
Yep.
If you visit Dubai Islands right now, there's nothing built there. There's 2 hotels, a mall that's still under construction. It's a sand pit. But I know for a fact when a master developer like Nakhil, for example, comes in and says, we're going to build 2 golf courses, we're going to build a mall, we're going to build bridges, which one has already been executed. And it's probably one of the most beautiful bridges I've seen, the Infinity Bridge.
Yeah.
And then you look at all the amenities that they're going to add into it and all the infrastructure that they're going to put in the area. This is where you do your capital appreciation.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and I don't just say this I've heard it somewhere. This is based on experience. I've worked on Arabian ranches. When we drove to Arabian ranches one, it was in the middle of nowhere. I had a client with me in the car, and I remember him saying, where in the world are you taking me? This is in the middle of nowhere. And look at what it's like now.
Yeah.
We've worked on the marina when the marina was at 900 dirhams per square foot, and look at where it is now.
Yeah.
Well, recently, Beach Harbor, I think we launched it in 2014. We were selling at 1,800 dirhams per square foot. And look at where it is now.
Yeah.
You're talking north of 5,000 dirhams per square foot being launched now. So these are the areas that I would like to look at. The areas where your typical investor would stand on the plot, be like, there's nothing there, I don't want to invest there. And then you'll get the investor or the high net worth individual who really understands the potential of what developers will bring into that community. He'll look at the plot, he'll be like, you know what, this is where I'm buying. So for example, Dubai Island, we launched a project, beautiful project by one of the prominent developers in Dubai. We launched at an average of 1,800 dirhams per square foot, and that's a waterfront property.
Right.
And my rule as an investor myself, especially in Dubai, we invest in 3 different, I call them arteries. So the main place you would put your money in is anything in front of the water, and then you've got the 2 main arteries, Sheikh Zayed Road and Al Khail Road. This is the heart of Dubai. You know, so it takes you from Dubai Mall all the way to Mall of the Emirates and the Marina. These are the veins that connect the city. So anywhere on those 2 lines is an absolute solid investment where you can get high return on investment and a significant appreciation depending on the product, obviously. So to go back to your question, my approach for high appreciation on product is to go to a place where your typical investor would be afraid to put his money into it.
Husni, typically, what percentage would you say of high net worth individuals would take a mortgage instead of being a cash buyer?
You'll never be able to put a percentage or a number on it. But typically, there's obviously the local high net worth individuals who are residing here and they have bank accounts and businesses. These guys typically would buy a property and there's 2 types. Some will buy the property and if they ever need to raise cash, they'll go and they'll mortgage the property. Some of the high net worth individuals that want to live in that place where it's not generating any revenue for them and they're locals here and they already have running businesses here, they would tend to utilize their facilities because, you know, these guys get better rates than everyone else, obviously, because they have a lot of money in their banks. But in terms of the investors, the international high net worth investors, I think it's a very low percentage.
Yeah.
Because they really don't want to go through the hassle of bringing in their documents from the other bank, registering it here. The market's been so open that it's attracting people who do not reside here. They get the residency, but they don't want to have a business here. They don't want to have a bank account. Their bank account is, I don't want to call it a dormant bank account, but it's a bank account where they do utilize it for their daily spending or whatever. And they come in and they buy a property here.
Yeah.
Usually these guys, and there's a big percentage of these guys, these kind of investors buying, are paying in cash, which is a good thing for the market.
Yeah. So Husni, are there any trends which you're seeing in the market at the moment which could influence a high net worth investor's decisions, which could be good or bad trends?
We are the trendsetters now. So
I like that.
We attract who we want to attract, in a sense of the government's doing what they're doing, and they're doing an absolutely amazing job. The spotlight's on us. We're you know, when you talk global cities, Dubai is there.
Yep.
It's already there. They've done an absolutely amazing job on all levels. So they've helped us with that. So the traffic is always going to be here. You've got the best airports. God knows what Jebel Ali Airport is going to do to the city as well, because that's going to have a significant impact on how things are. And then when these people come in, they have an acquired taste. As long as the traffic is coming into the city, as developers, as brokers, we need to be ones who set the tone in terms of what we supply. So, and the city is not just the typical areas that people talk about, downtown, marina, that's just the top layer. You've got Dubai Land, you've got the Expo City. Dubai is massive.
Yeah.
There's the new Jebel Ali project coming up. That area is going to be very hot. And then as developers, you need to be able to diversify the offerings. So there will be people flying in that want to invest 1 million dirhams or 200,000 pounds or 200,000, 250,000 euros. And that's it, you know, that kind of level. And then there will be the people that want to come in and say, you know what, I want to have a nice little penthouse on the top of with a full Burj Khalifa view.
Yeah.
So the developers have reached a level where they understand the value the government has given us as real estate investors or real estate developers, and we're leveraging on that, and we're setting the trend depending on the area, depending on the location, depending on the proximity, that kind of thing.
Would you say there's any sort of technology which is helping high net worth individuals make their decisions?
The reason we are where we are now, a major reason, is, look, again, we're going to bring in the government because they're the ones behind all of this. The government understands that the future is artificial intelligence and all of that, but before we reach to that level, they understand that the technology is what's going to drive traffic to the city.
Yep.
The way they manage airports, the way they manage their police, the way they manage their immigration office, the way they manage what ministries interact with humans. Everything has a system, everything has an app. And then you apply that onto the land department. We're probably one of the most transparent, regulated markets in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we're up there with the top ones.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact, because I know that the land department in Dubai is exporting their assets in terms of experience to other countries around the world, so that they can, you know, you don't want to reinvent the wheel, but you take from someone. So we're exporting this kind of information. Technology has been an absolute pivotal requirement to get us to where we are right now. As an international investor, I fly in, I've never been to Dubai, I go into the REST app of the land department, I can easily get all the information on rental, on last transactions, on the agents, what was the last property that agent sold, so I'll understand that if he's got experience in what he's talking about or not. You can go in and meet with the owners. So the way they've created most importantly, developers. You go into the land department REST app and you click on the development, and they can tell you what the escrow account, where they've reached in terms of the construction milestone. You can download pictures that the municipality takes of the development in order for you to understand where they are. And then of course you've got the portals that are bridging that gap.
Yep.
And getting that information in a very nice, people-friendly way, a user-friendly interface, that makes it easier for us to make a decision today. Even as a professional in the market, I've been in the market 25 years. You ask me about a certain area, I probably don't know the answer because there's so much to cover.
Yeah.
What I do is I'd go onto Bayut's application as an initial approach to verify what's going on. So if a client asks me what's going on in, I don't know, some area in Dubai, what are the properties renting there for? I don't know. I've not rented a property in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Never rent. I did do some rentals, but not as much. So I would go onto the Bayut platform and I would cross-check.
Yep.
And then in order to double-check that, I would go into the rest. But because your platforms are much more user-friendly, so it's easier to get into that.
Yeah.
But the point is, the availability of this data, the availability of this the transparency of the transactions, the information that's out there makes the investor very comfortable. So hold on a second, this agent's lying to me. I looked here and I'm going to find the right agent. So it also, with time, going to filter out the market on all levels. From the developer side, you'll find out who the unorthodox developers, I would say, who are the dishonest developers, who are the dishonest agents. And this understanding of technology has really put us where we are right now.
Yeah. So Husni, we're on to the last question now, okay? I want to ask you specifically either about a deal that you've personally done or has a deal been done within one of your businesses, which you would consider to be a success story with a high net worth individual, who potentially made remarkable gains, whether it be the last couple of years, whether it be 10 years ago, something that you still remember, something that you go, yeah, that was a really good one. And what did you maybe learn from that journey?
The latest one I can remember was a couple of years ago, where we invested clients' money into a plot and we helped him develop it and sell it. He's made about 8x on his money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not crypto.
So he's retired.
Yeah. There's different segments in the market, and you approach every investor differently depending on what appetite they have. So on the smaller scale, high net worth individuals who really don't want to get into the headache of development, we give them the approach of plugging them into existing developers, and they leverage on their success, and they've made plenty of money. There's different ways of doing things, but overall, I think even the properties that we sold in 2006 and 7 and 8, after the crisis dropped, the market dropped a lot, and the investor that had the ability to hold on to these assets for a longer period of time has recovered and made profits on it. Overall, I think investors that have the ability to hold on to the asset, even though, or even in the tough times, and be able to try to get what they can out of the asset over the period where market slows down, and wait for it to pick up again, will win. So I don't think we have a lot of people that lost money in Dubai. I mean, look at anyone who bought a piece of land in JVC 7 years ago.
Yeah.
They've quadrupled in price.
Yeah.
If you look at apartments, they've gone, I mean, one of the deals we've done, another deal we've done, I think in COVID, everyone was cutting down on salaries and shutting down or slowing down their overheads. We did an expansion for one of our offices, and within that expansion, we hired more people, because I know for a fact that as soon as the tip is there, it's coming back.
Yeah.
You're in Dubai. If you bet on any other horse, you probably have a chance of a 50-50 chance. But if you bet against Dubai, you're going to lose. If you bet with Dubai, you're definitely going to win.
Yeah, I think those people who invested through COVID were, they're laughing right now. Yeah, especially like you talk about Dubai Hills, for instance.
Dubai Hills. I think we were selling the villas at 40. I think some of the villas sold at 40 to 50 below OP. And now we're talking I lost track, to be honest, but good for them.
Yeah.
As long as they're happy,
absolutely.
we're happy, right?
I would say now it's probably going to be more of a sort of longer term investment, yeah?
100%,
For your return.
100%.
To sit tight a little bit.
100%.
Okay, Husni, we're going to play a quick game now. Okay, it's called the word association game.
Okay.
I'm going to say a word, and you have to say.
I
the
might
first word
say I
that
don't want
comes
to
into your
answer.
mind.
I might walk away, just open the door and walk out.
Nah, I think you'll be able to answer them all. They're fine. They're fine. Okay, so we're going to start, and the first word that I'm going to say is investment.
Investment.
First thing that comes to you.
Returns.
Wealth,
Plenty of it.
luxury,
All over.
exclusivity,
We have it.
penthouse,
New project coming up very soon.
waterfront,
Beach Harbor.
home,
Bersha.
agency,
D&B.
trophy.
Family.
I like that. Very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in
Pleasure,
today. We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Absolute
Being your
pleasure.
first podcast. For everyone who's watching at home, if you have any property related questions, you're interested in investing in property, if you're a high net worth individual, Husni's your guy to speak to. Reach out to him. We will tag him in the posts and his company. And thank you for tuning in once again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine.
You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.